folks, welcome to the start of another weekly vlog. I'm starting the vlog out here in secret this week because we've already started things off with quite a challenging morning. As usual, Anna's been at work this morning and we've just been to pick her up. Andy is due to go to his respite this afternoon, and at the moment, I don't know if he's going to go or not. It got to about 11:45, we were having a completely normal morning, and I just said to Andy, right, it's time to go and get mummy from work, go and get dressed, and he just said no, refused. Went as close to shut down as I've seen him for a long time. I thought better of it than to start a row with him, especially with Anna not here to help me out with it. So I just said, well, fine, we'll just have to leave mummy there then. I left it at that. It took him about 5 minutes of just sitting there in complete silence. And then he kind of got up and very slowly walked around the outside of the room, so as far away from me and the door as possible, but gradually walking around the room, snuck upstairs, came back downstairs a few minutes later, fully dressed and carrying his overnight bag. So I think he thought I was taking him to Respite without seeing Anna, or we were going to go and get her. And he hasn't communicated about it at all, so it's difficult to know what's actually upsetting him. But in the end, he did agree to go and pick Anna up, and he's flitting back and forth between saying he wants to go to his respite and saying he doesn't want to go to his respite. Now, obviously, we're not going to force the issue. He doesn't need to be there at the moment, because at the moment Anna's not working. Obviously, she's finished uni. Well, she's got the co-op job, but she's not. It's not like she's at work full time and nobody's available to look after Andy while I'm working. So we're not going to push it too hard. We know he'll enjoy going if he goes. So we're going to push a little bit because we know it's for his own good for him to go. It gets him out of the house. It breaks things up. It gets him used to being out of the house again. Last time he went there, he came back and went to school for 2 weeks, for example. It seemed to really do him some good. So we'll see how things develop over the rest of the day. Obviously, as ever, if things get really tense, it's never really the right time to get a camera out and show you. But we'll see how we get on, see if we manage to get him there. He's just inside having his lunch now, which reminds me, I should go and have my lunch, and then we'll see if it's about an hour and a half until we'd be due to leave, if we're going to be able to get him to leave. Well, we made it relatively trouble-free. Oh, yeah, you going to say bye-bye?
All right, we'll go back to school, back home.
No, we've got it.
Go back home.
No. Maybe I spoke too soon. Well, definitely spoke too soon. He was absolutely fine. Getting out of the car, going in, walked in there, absolutely fine. And then they had to take his temperature with the thermometer in his ear, which I don't think we talked about it on the vlog, but we found out from the social worker last week that that's what they've been doing going into school every day. And we're now pretty sure that that's why he's refusing to go to school, because he absolutely hates having that done when he goes to the doctors.
Well, ears in general,
yeah, it's always a battle. That's why he doesn't wear headphones, he won't wear ear protectors, he won't wear hats unless we really force him to. He can't stand it. So as soon as he saw that, he was not happy. Similar to how the school refusal first started presenting itself, though, he didn't have a meltdown. He just started to go through his full repertoire of things that he knows pull Anna's strings to try and get her to crack. So he did his fake crying, he did his getting really clingy and hugging, and just generally from that point on, didn't want to stay there. So we had to work very closely with the staff, who were fantastic, to basically sneak Anna out the back door, to stop the clinginess between the two of them. Once Anna was out, he settled down quickly, he was fine. We actually hovered around, because Anna was already out the front where we'd snuck her out the side, when I came out, and one of the staff came out a couple of minutes later and just said, yeah, he's absolutely fine now, settled down, back to normal, on his switch, doing his normal stuff, lying on his bed. So he was, once we got over that hurdle, he was fine. But this whole having his ears checked thing is a real problem, and for as long as they're checking his ears on the way back into school, I don't think he's going to go to school. For as long as they're checking his ears coming here, I think it'll be a battle to get him here again. And like, if this is the plan for the reopening of things like Disney and Alton Towers,
well, I think
doing temperature checks,
I'm by his own personal way. You just shine it at the head, so it's distant. Like, you just shine it at the head, and then it will take the temperature, because he can't stand with his ears. They're expensive, but if it stops this...
Yeah, a personalised thermometer. But, I mean, that might be a way to get him back into school then, if that is what's causing the problem. But to reward ourselves for all that, we noticed on the way that the Starbucks just around the corner from where his respite place is open. So I've got my first Starbucks in months. Yes, it's a creamy, sugary mess. I don't normally have this kind of thing.
Liar.
Unless I'm having a treat, but this is a treat and that is delicious. So we're going to sit here, drink the coffee, just wait and make sure that we don't get another call to say he's still upset. But like I say, before we'd even got back in the car, they said he was fine, so I'm sure he will be fine. But it's a 45-minute drive home. We don't want to get there and then get a call and say he's not happy, we've got to pick him up. So we'll hover around here for a little bit, drink our coffee.
We're in a lovely crosswind.
We are in a lovely crosswind, which is probably wreaking havoc with the audio on this video.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's been warm. It is Tuesday, late on Tuesday as well. It's nearly 9 o'clock. We've just finished the Q&A. Amy is currently eating a post Q&A jelly while we wait to see what treats Anna's going to bring home from work with us. She's got into the habit of bringing us treats home on Tuesdays. Tuesday treats, or Wednesday. It used to be Wednesday treats back in the day. Tuesday treats is now a thing.
Wasn't Wednesday treats when she got home from like lunchtime?
Yeah, but she wouldn't have been at work, so I don't know where she was for Wednesday treats. Yeah.
So she'd be at uni in the morning.
Yeah. So now we've got Tuesday treats.
Yeah.
So
which I'm included in this time.
Yeah. So we might see what she's got treats wise for us then, because we could do with something sweet. I made kebabs for tea with the lamb mince that we got in the Morrison's box last week. Just basically got the mince, threw in a whole load of spices and garlic, and then just fried them as sausages and smushed them up in a pita bread with one of the packs of rice that we got in there. It was a completely made up as I go along dinner, and it was really nice.
It was.
But Dave wanted some as well and was very disappointed because I put so much garlic and like onion powder and stuff in them that I thought it's probably not best for Dave to eat. So no kebab for poor old Dave, so he's not really happy with us at the moment. But
Is he licking your leg?
he is licking my leg. I probably dripped lamb juice on it. We are now continuing our Marvel marathon that we've been working on for the last several weeks. Doctor Strange is the movie of the evening, so
It's just started again though.
Yeah, we got halfway through watching it before the live stream, and now we've just gone to watch the second half, and it's gone back to the beginning. So someone rewound the tape. She doesn't even know what that means, I imagine. The youth of today. It is Wednesday, and I thought Wednesday was going to be a really uneventful day until we noticed on Twitter earlier on today that there are some McDonald's restaurants reopening in the UK. What we learnt from Five Guys and KFC and Starbucks and all these other places that are reopening is Peterborough is usually ignored. So I didn't even check the list initially, but then people started tweeting me and tweeting me and tweeting me to the point where I thought my phone was going to melt. I had a little look at the list. There are 39 McDonald's drive-thrus in the entire UK reopening today. 6 of them are in Peterborough. So we're officially going to go out and look at the queues, but I'm secretly hoping we'll find one that doesn't have a queue so we can have a burger and put it on Instagram and upset everybody. But we're going to go out for a drive and at the very least show you how crazy people are and how long the queues are. Hopefully have a burger. Right, we just pulled up outside our second McDonald's. We pulled in thinking we might actually get in because the queue on the drive-thru itself isn't huge. But then there's a McDonald's member of staff over there. There's another one over there. They're all around this Morrison's car park, basically staggering the queue and bringing people down to the main queue one by one. We already drove past one on the way in that was queuing out onto the dual carriageway. This is 2 down, 4 to go. It's not looking good. Very sad. You're very sad.
What did you expect?
I expected queues. I wanted to come out and film the queues. It's absolute madness the way they've got the queuing system. I can see 4 members of McDonald's staff in high-vis vests who are basically conducting traffic around all this. Yeah, they're coming around the entire car park.
All the way around.
That is crazy. Well, that's an hour of our lives we're not getting back. We've just driven around all 6 McDonald's in Peterborough. Each one seemed to have a longer queue than the one before. Some of them were absolutely insane. People of Peterborough, what is wrong with you if you're joining the end of those queues? I know we were driving out to have a look, but we wouldn't have dreamt of joining those queues. So we're back home, no McDonald's, and At least we've got a nice hour in the car in the air conditioning on a really, really, really hot day where we have no aircon in the house. It's Thursday. Anna is struggling with a normal person face mask today because she doesn't like these ones that cover loads. That one's all right. That doesn't look as stupid. You look like that character out of Mortal Kombat.
Do they have Japan mesh?
I don't know what she's saying.
Karate.
The reason we're all masked up is because we're back at Andy's Respite place to pick him up. It's early, but luckily Starbucks was open on the way here. I have Andy in the back of the car. There he is, already, he's reminding us that we're going to go to KFC. Slight problem though, we picked him up at 10, not realising KFC doesn't open till 12. So, slight change from the original plan we promised him. We're going to go home and then go out again at like tea time and have his KFC that we promised him. Hopefully, KFC will be similar to yesterday when there were absolutely no queues outside KFC because everybody was at the other place that we don't want to let him know about. What I'm going to have to do between now and then is plan a route to KFC that doesn't take us past any of those other 6 locations because they'll probably still have big queues today. I don't think that would stop him. I don't think we'll be able to drive past. We need to kind of find a route. And in my head now, I'm not sure there is one, but I'll see what I can do. We are back in our spot again with Andy's KFC. I mean, let's be honest though, got my KFC as well. The hot wings here are the best food in the history of the world.
The chicken
popcorn's in there, I think. You can see it in the bottom of the bag. So we've got him 2 portions of chips, a popcorn chicken, just a tiny popcorn chicken, but it's a full portion of a small popcorn chicken, which is like, what do you reckon, 6 pieces?
6, 8, 9.
9 pieces of popcorn chicken and 2 portions of chips because he does like a chip, and a cherry Pepsi. Yeah, there's one for you as well, I think.
I've got
one. Oh, are they mine then? Because I haven't had any. Chips for me too. Lovely, lovely, lovely. This is our dinner today because we're monsters.
Well, you can
and
have
it's
one,
really nice.
And I can give one in a minute. Right,
there you go, Andy. What do you think of that? Is that good?
Hold on.
It's really hot though. It's like 30 degrees according to the car thermometer, which means it's probably about 25, but the car makes it feel super, super hot. That's us fully satisfied with delicious food. Didn't touch the popcorn chicken today. He did hand it back and say take it home, but I'm not feeling as hopeful. He ate it all last week. That's why we came here. That's why we haven't told him. It's one of the reasons we haven't told him about the other place, which I'm sure he'll discover at some point, but we did find a successful route here that didn't go past any of them. So now we've got a maze through Peterborough to avoid them all on the way home as well. Yes, we're going home now.
I think that even though he wants to, I think he just wants to go home. I think he just wants to be home today.
Yeah, because he's been there for the last few days.
Yeah, I think
he wasn't 100% excited about coming out, even though he asked for this. So yeah, he probably just
wants to be home.
Wants his own stuff and place. Well, he did come in and put this on his table. But as you can see, all 9 of them are still in there. And he's gone straight up to his bedroom. So I just don't think he wanted to go out. He thought he wanted to go out. He liked the idea of going out. But then when we were actually out, he just wanted to be back home. It is Saturday, folks, and I have secured one of the most rarest of treats in this new world that we're living in, a Tesco slot. Not for delivery this week. For the first time ever, I'm doing a Tesco click and collect. So I'm heading over there now to grab our Tesco order. This is going to be another huge pile of fish fingers and waffles and crisps and store cupboard essentials and things. We didn't get a Morrison's box this week because we got so much in that meat box last week. We froze half of it and have kind of been working through that over the course of the week. So this is really just Andy's stuff and store cupboard essential stuff, but I'm currently on a pretty good run where I've not actually had to set foot in a proper supermarket other than the odd quick trip to the co-op, mainly to pick Anna up, but I've not actually had to set foot into the Tesco near where we live for getting on for, I want to say getting on for 3 weeks, and I want that to continue. So I'm going to do the click and collect now. We've got another one of these booked for next Saturday. These seem a little bit easier to get than the delivery slots. They're cheaper too. It's only costing £1 to do click and collect, whereas it's usually £4 or £5 for delivery. it probably works out roughly the same price when you factor in the petrol, because the store we do click and collect from is about a 30-mile round trip from where we live. But if it means I don't have to set foot in a supermarket, I am all for it. I've just driven past one of the 6 McDonald's in town that's open as well, and they're queuing out onto the dual carriageway again like they were earlier in the week. McDonald's has now been open again for 4 days. People are still queuing out onto the road. People are insane. We've still managed to avoid letting Andy know that McDonald's is open, partly because we don't want to sit in that queue, and if he finds out, he will force us to, but also because we've agreed with school that the plan is he's going to be going back to school on the 1st of June, the Monday after half term. It's when school starts reopening anyway, so it stops being like an optional thing like it has been for the last couple of months. He is expected back into school on the 1st of June. We've told them to expect him back into school on the 1st of June. He is understandably not keen to go, but we're keeping McDonald's in our back pocket as our reward to use with him on that day, where if he goes into school, well, when he goes into school, like I say, it stops becoming optional. So when he goes into school, even if we're having to take him in and drop him off, if we get him there, then he can have McDonald's as a reward. So it kind of waters down that reward if we've already taken him there beforehand. If it's a treat he's not had for 2 months, he's much more likely to put himself through some hardship to make sure it happens. Well, that was possibly the easiest shopping experience of my life. They have a little drive-through place in the car park just over there. I drove up, they came to the window, asked for my name, gave them my name, and then they asked me to open the boot before I drove under their little drive-through. I did that, drove in, filled the boot up, shut it for me, I've driven off. That's taken 90 seconds start to finish. They had everything we ordered. There's less social contact there than there is doing home delivery. I think I might be a convert to click and collect, because that was spot on. And also you have the advantage of being able, you get a 2-hour slot where you can arrive, but you're not sat there at home waiting during your hour or 2-hour slot thinking, oh, I wish Tesco would hurry up, or I hope Tesco aren't early. This is good. I like click and collect. Well, I'm home, but we've now had a little bit of a disaster. I came in the house, as I came through the front door, the door handle I felt it snap in my hand, came in and said to Anna, I think I've just broken the door handle.
That's why I can see.
Yeah, so
because you made no noise.
Yeah, so I was fiddling the door handle thinking I'd broken it. And then to test if I'd broken it, I shut the door and pushed the locking thing up again just to see if it was all broken and disconnected. And it doesn't open again. All our shopping, like £100 worth of shopping, is trapped in the boot of the car, including all Andy's frozen stuff, on a warm day in the back of the car in the sun. And I've got the door handle in my hand, and we can't get the door open. We've got a locksmith coming out within the hour, but I've tried turning that with a pair of like gardening gloves on to get some grip on it. It won't turn. I've tried getting the handle back on. Nothing. We're gonna have like warm, sloppy, wet fish fingers when we get out of this house. Well, one quick visit from a locksmith and £168 later, and we can now get out of the house again. I don't even know if I mentioned, my dad came over to try the door from the outside and ended up passing our shopping in through the living room window while we waited for the locksmith. So we just about avoided having any damage rubbing food as well. What's he asking for? He's watching Toy Story 4 and he's very animated about everything. It's Sunday, which of course means we are in our usual spot waiting for the trains to go past the level crossing. We think we've timed it a little bit better this week and that we should only be waiting for like 5 minutes, hopefully. We're all a little bit sad this afternoon though, because we were just speculating on the way here, looking at the time. It's 3:15 nearly, and we were just saying how this time last year and right now, if things had gone to plan, we would just be pulling into the car park for the Premier Inn down in Folkestone.
Yeah.
We can't. Because we got there about this time last year. Me and Amy then headed out to Tesco around the corner for supplies and petrol before they closed at 4. So it was about this time we got there, and it was due to be today. We had the Premier Inn booked for tonight. But obviously we can't go, and we would have been going to Disney tomorrow, and now we can't, and it's very, very sad. What are we going to do, eh? In other news, to cheer us up again after all that, Anna doesn't like her new hair colour that she's done. What is it?
It's too bright.
But I'm colourblind. What colour is it?
It's red.
It's red.
But it's really red. I thought it'd be...
I can actually see the pink right coming out.
Well, that's my scalp.
Have you dyed your scalp as well?
Well, that just happens because it's hair dye, but I don't like it, so I've bought a dark red colour.
Lockdown boredom has got Anna just dyeing her hair random colours, apparently. We should do mine.
It was two colours. It was brown, and then I had like a tinge of red, but now
we should dye mine as well. Let's dye mine.
Would you like blue?
I don't care. I'll go whatever colour you'll let me do. I'll do.
I don't care.
I have. You're a liar, because when we talked about dyeing my hair for the Streamer Showdown, you said no. See, when she's on camera, she tries to behave.
No, that's because...
We'll bleach it and then dye it purple.
But the thing is, Kevin, it'll burn your head and you won't like it, and you'll scratch it and you'll touch it and it'll get everywhere, and you'll just, damn it, you won't sit still.
It's true.
You should get that hair chalk you were looking at. That would do it.
Might get some hair chalk. But yeah, we're going to sit here, wait for a train, and then mope around for the rest of the evening being sad.
I may cry.
Our plan, and I suggest you join us on this plan too. Our plan for the next 5 days is to re-watch last year's Disney vlogs, the days they happened. So when we get home tonight, I want to watch the one from the Sunday from last year with us getting down there. I mean, he knows what day it is. He's convinced Britain's Got Talent's on TV tonight. It's definitely not. We've checked. But we had this conversation with him last year, because if you remember, when we got down to the Premier Inn, we were planning on having a super early night. He turned the TV on because he knew Britain's Got Talent was on Sunday. So he knows what weekend it is. We all know what weekend it is. We all know what should be happening.
He just said hello to people.
And it's not. He just said hello to people. What people? Fair enough. So yeah, we'll see you next week. And we'll be even sadder because we'll have lived through an entire week of not being at Disney. If you have enjoyed this video though, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for a video of us being sad next week, and to find out what colour Anna's hair will be then. And what colour my hair will be. And thank you very much for watching.